Tuloy ang pagbabalik eskwela ngayong taon sa isang ligtas na pamamaraan. Hatid ng Department of Education at IBC 13 ang iba't ibang learning modules na tutugon sa edukasyon ng libo-libong Pilipino.
For this episode, we will talk about the nature and process of communication.
Handang isip, handa bukas. Mapapanood ang panimulang pagtatanghal ng DepEd Distance Learning Program ngayong Lunes, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Dito lang sa IBC TV. Kaibigan mo.
Nasa menu rin ang weekly plans para sa grade levels na base sa Most Essential Learning Competencies o MELC. Interactive ang learning tools dahil gamified ang exams at quizzes. Wala nang excuse para bumagsak, ha? Sa panahon ngayon, hawak kamay tayo at magtulungan. Salamat sa teknolohiya, mailalapit natin ang edukasyon sa bagong henerasyon. Come on na sa DepEd Commons. Gawin nating accessible ang pag-aaral. I-follow ang Department of Education sa social media at bisitahin ang iba pa nilang websites for more information. O sige, ang dami ko nang sinabi. Kahit daliri lang ako. Paalam!
Ayan. So, magandang hapon sa ating lahat. Good afternoon, Ma'am Weng.
Good afternoon, buds.
So, ayan. So, nandito na naman tayo para sa ating Casio Technology Session. This is our episode 4. This is in partnership with Educational Technology Unit and the Casio Calculators Philippines. And to formally start our session, let's have a prayer to be led by our Educational Technology Specialist, Ma'am Rowena Andaya Reyes.
Okay, let's pray. Lord, thank you for this afternoon. Thank you for this time that we gather all the teachers, especially in mathematics. God, I pray that you will bless all the participants, that they can gather all the knowledge to our speaker this afternoon. God, I pray for our speaker, give them the knowledge and the skill as they teach, Panginoon, yung mga strategy regarding sa mathematics and also with the use of special gadget. Lord, thank you. I pray that you will bless this session, Lord God, and all those people behind this webinar. God, I pray that you continue bless, Panginoon. Maraming pong salamat this time, Lord God. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen and amen. Sir Bads.
Hello, Ma'am Weng.
Yes.
Ayan. So, ngayon medyo maganda yung ating magiging discussion about doon sa ating araw ngayon, and I think we will have a very important resource speaker na makakasama natin ngayon. Isa siya sa mga Casio Tech teachers ng ating Casio Calculators Philippines. So, Ma'am Weng, ibibigay ko na sa iyo ang privilege to introduce our speaker this afternoon.
Actually, yung speaker na to, pasensya na hindi ko handle ang iyong curriculum, ang iyong specialty, but gusto ko siyang ipakilala bilang isang kasama sa aming school na isa sa matyaga at magaling na visionary itong ating speaker. Masipag siya sa larangan ng kanyang curriculum, specialty niya being a math teacher and also the department head. Techie teacher to. Ngayon, natutuwa ako kasi nai-embrace niya na lalo ang paggamit ng technology. So, naniniwala ako na in this time of pandemic, marami tayong natutunan. And also for this speaker. So, yung journey niya today, not just leading, discussing about his skills in mathematics and using the different gadget, but soon makikita niyo rin siya sa special journey niya being a teacher and a head teacher. So, huwag na natin patagalin. So marami siyang skills na ituturo this afternoon. I hope yung mga aming mga naki-stay tuned na live participants, I hope that you will stay until matapos ang kanyang pagdidiscuss regarding sa mathematics subject. Sabi nga, ang math, matibay, masigurista, maayos. Okay? So let's welcome Mr. Sir Mark Anthony Vidallo.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Hi, Sir Bads. Hi, Ma'am Weng. Good afternoon po. Okay ba
Good afternoon. Medyo, sir. Medyo malakas po. Apo.
Okay. Okay.
So ayan. Sir Mark, ready ka na ba sa ating session? Okay, sige sir.
Okay?
Let's wait for your screen. Hintayin lang natin si sir. So by the way, ito yung ating ika-apat na episode ng ating Casio Technology Sessions with the Casio Tech teachers. Ito yung mga mathematics teachers utilizing our Casio Emulator sa pagtuturo po nila. By the way, ito po ay mada-download natin sa Casio Calculators Philippines page. Andun lahat ng mga information po natin. So Sir Joel, Sir Mark Anthony, yes.
Meron po bang magaganap na raffle or whatever? Meron ba silang pakakaabangan after this session?
Surpresa po yan mamaya, Ma'am Weng.
So dear participants, stay tuned. I hope eager na kayong matuto this afternoon. So bigyan na natin yung live session sa ating guest speaker. Okay, Sir Mark Anthony Vidallo.
Okay, sir.
Okay po. Okay. Okay, good afternoon everyone. Okay, hello po, good afternoon to all the teachers who are watching right now. Okay, actually, promote ko na tong session na to last Monday pa sa different Facebook groups, DepEd Tambayan for my teachers, and then sa Sipnayan 360. And kung napansin nyo doon, kung nakita nyo yung promotion ko doon, sinabi ko, this Saturday, August 15, is a day for math teachers. Earlier, kaninang 9 o'clock, we have a webinar from MTOP wherein nakita nyo doon how they, kumbaga, more on concepts and pedagogies. And then, as I said last time, so this afternoon, we're going to focus on content with technologies. Okay, so that's why I said August 15 is a day for math teachers. So I hope you're going to join me until we finish this session. Okay, so also minention ko doon sa post ko, this is not just for senior high school. As we know, kung familiar kayo sa curriculum guide ng mathematics, ang trigonometric function, graphing of trigonometric functions, okay, graphing ng trigonometric functions sa senior high school. But as I said, even you're teaching grade 8, grade 9, or grade 10, you can actually benefit on this. Okay? So, para makita nyo yung paikot-ikot, pasikot-sikot with the use of this calculator. Alright. By the way, on this webinar, kung sinusubaybayan nyo yung series, sabi nga kanina ni Sir Buds, this is the 4th session. Okay? Nung first session, the speaker, Sir Tony, ginamit niya yung ClassWiz. Alright? Ginamit niya yung ClassWiz. Then last Saturday, so my colleague, Miss Reverie Vargas, she used Casio FX 350ES. Okay? Now this time, on this webinar, what I'm going to use is one of the high-end or top-of-the-line graphic series, which is Casio FXCG50. Okay? This one. Now, so since this is one of the, kumbaga, ito yung pinaka, kumbaga sa unit na pinopromote ng Casio, this is the high-end. Ito yung pinaka maganda. So medyo expensive siya. Now, of course, don't worry. Hindi mo naman kailangan magkaroon ng gantong unit unless gustong-gusto mo talaga. The good thing here is the Casio is very generous. You can actually download their emulator for free. Now, the reason why we are having this webinar, para ma-equip yung mga teachers, diba? How to integrate technologies, especially calculators, during your synchronous and asynchronous classes. All right. So actually, you can download this for free. So ito lang yung, you can take a screenshot on this, or actually, makita nyo to dun sa announcement on the EPU page and Casio page. All right. Here, you can download the emulator for free. Okay. So, while you are searching it, kung sinesearch nyo siya, by the way, so allow me to plug in my YouTube channel. Okay. So here, makita nyo how I use calculators. Aside aside from calculators, like Sir Buddy said a while ago, I use a lot of different apps in discussing my lessons. I use GeoGebra, Autograph 5.0, Desmos, then the ClassWiz, and so on. Okay. Now, this afternoon, what I'm going to show you is what I'm going to use is the material that I used during the national training of senior high school math teachers last October 2019 at Cebu City. Okay, for the information of everyone, si DepEd BLR or Bureau of Learning Resources, they gave this calculator. Nagbigay sila ng gantong units sa mga high schools. So, okay. Now, for the participants on this said seminar uh, are the recipient of this Casio FX9860G2SD. Okay. Now, if you notice, ito kasing calculator na to, ito yung provide ng DepEd, okay? So, yung function niya with CG50 almost pareho, okay? The difference is si CG50, yung gagamitin natin ngayon, and actually ito yung ginamit ko dun sa webinar ko last time sa ETU, sa DepEd ETU. So, the difference is itong CG50 colored siya. Alright? Unlike itong calculator na in-issue ng DepEd sa mga different high schools nationwide, 9860G2, black and white. Okay, black and white siya. Alright? Now, okay, so as I said, for this session, so I'm going to focus on the graph of trigonometric function. Actually, kung sinusubaybayan niyo yung series natin, Sir Tony, 2 weeks ago, nag-focus siya sa trigonometry yung series natin. Trigonometry, because among the branches in math, magagamit talaga yung calculator sa trigo. Well, of course, we can use that in algebra, we can use it in geometry, in calculus, pero mas gamit siya sa trigonometry. So that's why yung series natin, this is the third one or the fourth one. So we're going to focus on trigonometric function. Okay. So hindi ko na patatagalin. So let's start. Okay. So allow me to differentiate circular and trigonometric function. For those teaching senior high school, all right, so alam na alam nila yung difference ng dalawa. Okay, pag sinabi nating y equals sine theta, y equals cosine theta, okay, tangent, cotangent, secant, cosecant, okay, so yun yung mga trigonometric functions. Actually, pareho lang sila. So the difference is in trigonometric function, the domain here are the set of angles. Okay? Ang domain natin dito is angles in degrees. While in circular function, the domain here is the equivalent radian measure. Okay po? So radian measure dito, degrees. So that's why during the first session with Sir Tony, so parang ang diniscuss niya yata doon 2 weeks ago is how to convert degree to radian and vice versa. Tama? Okay. So that's the difference. Okay. So, since I'm going to focus on graphing, okay, so what I'm going to show you raw, ang goal ko actually ngayon is paano ba ako mag-graph ng function, okay, using calculator. All right. So, but before that, so syempre, introduce ko muna, kung walang pandemic na ganito, actually, nasa mga classroom tayo, di ba? So, paano natin i-graph to? Yun sa usual setup natin. Okay, so allow me to graph it muna so that you magkaroon kayo ng idea. Actually, I've been teaching trigonometry for siguro 3 years, 4 years, and this is how I introduce it kung hindi ako yung manual way to do it. Okay, so on a number line, okay, so di ba, we base the graph of y equals sine x sa unit circle. Tama? Pag sinabing unit circle, so the radius here is 1. So let me call this, the coordinate of this point is 0, 1. Right? Okay. So on that number line, so imagine I have here another number line, okay, a flexible number line, okay, flexible, meaning to say I can bend it in such a way that at this point, for example, kunyari ang coordinate nito is pi over 6. Suppose this is my pi over 4. Okay, this is pi over 3. And then, kunyari, ito yung pi over 2 and so on. Okay, it will extend towards positive infinity. Okay, again, like I said, imagine we have a flexible number line. Okay, so maibibend ko siya. Suppose I'm going to wrap it around the circle. Ipapalupot ko siya in Tagalog. I'm going to wrap it around. So meaning to say, this pi over 6 here will, mapupunta yan dito. Then this pi over 4 will be here. Pi over 3. Then pi over 2 and so on. Right? And then, of course, kung ito yung number line, so dito, yung negative counterpart niya, so same thing. Okay? So that's how we do it. Now, ano ibig ko sabihin? Now, so since this is flexible number line, okay, if I'm going to unwrap it, okay, ilalatag ko siya dito, yung blue na segment, okay? Like that. Okay. So meaning to say, yung pi over 6 na yan, mapupunta dito. Alright? So this will be my pi over 6. This will be my pi over 4. This will be my pi over 3. Then this will be my pi over 2. And so on. Until I reach yung complete revolution, which is 2 pi. Alright? So now, ano ibig ko sabihin? So as I said, yung point dito, alright? So since this is yung point dyan, so equivalent niya nandito. Alright? So yung pi over 4, which is 45, so meaning yung sine pi over 4 or sine 45 degrees, that's square root of 2 over 2. Diba, in equivalent decimal niyan is 0.707 or approximate like that. So parang ganon. Then yung pi over 3, so I think that's 0.87. Then pi over 2 is 1. Again, what I'm showing I'm showing you is paano ko siya ini-introduce manually. Okay, ganito yung ginagawa before. And then ipa-plot natin, right? And then until such a way, mapo-form yung one complete sine wave. Like that. Okay, by the way, the figure is not drawn to scale. Ano ko lang. Okay, so that's how we introduce normally, especially sa mga senior high school teachers natin. Now, what I'm going to show you is how can I do it using the calculator. How, di ba, syempre, ang goal, like I said, ang goal natin on this webinar is to equip the teachers how you will be more prepared on your synchronous and asynchronous classes. So, paano ko siya i-graph using the calculator? Okay. So, if you already download it, okay, so ganito yung magiging, by the way, itong calculator na to, so like any other emulator, free siya for 90 days. Okay, 90 days. So meaning to say after that, so mag-expire subscription natin, so hindi niyo na siya magagamit. Okay. Okay. So by the way, time to time nga pala, no, unahan ko na kayo. Actually, ganito talaga yung nangyayari sa emulator ng medyo time to time pag during the inactivity ng emulator, nagka-crash siya in the middle. But don't worry, we can recover it naman. Okay. All right, as I said, going back. So, by the way, what I'm doing here is ine-enlarge ko yung calculator so that halimbawa, kung nagpe-present kayo or nagre-re-echo kayo sa mga school nyo or kung last session nyo using calculator, pwede nyo siyang enlarge so that your viewers can see it. Okay, like this, kung anong button, pwede naman yon. Okay, so but I will use the normal size. Okay, this is how it will look like. Okay, then also, so let me activate the keylog. Okay, ito yung keylog na tinatawag. So manotice nyo siya, color brown siya, but if I'm going to go to keylog and then click editor, you'll notice magiging white yung screen ko. Then if I'm going to press the record, okay, yung record button here, meaning to say, whatever you're going to press on your calculator, mariregister dyan so that your viewers or your, like I said, during last session, nasusundan nila yung mga pinipindot nyo. Okay? Now, going back to what I'm saying, so how will I introduce the graph of sine function, okay, aside from this manual solution or manual yung ginawa ko kanina? How are we going to do that? So, on your calculator, so I'm going to go to the table mode. Okay? So you can go there using this navigation button, up, down, right, left. Okay, see that? Okay. Now, so I'm going to go to the table mode. Then yung pinaka-enter ko dito, kumbaga sa keyboard, it's exe, yung sa pinaka lower right. Exe, short for execute. Okay, so press exe. There you go. Okay, we know, table of values, pag may table of values ka, so it corresponds to a point, and once you have set of points, you can actually trace it to have a graph, right? So that's what we're going to do. So again, what I'm going to show you is how are you going to introduce the graph y equals sine x using this calculator. Suppose, okay, I'm going to show my students, okay, class, this is, okay, to graph the sine x, let's investigate, or let's see what will be the graph looks like. Okay, so sine x, so then I'm going to set it, makikita nyo dito sa F5, set, okay, meaning to say, yung ibig sabihin ng set, kung ano yung gusto mong makita sa Cartesian plane mo. So this will be your domain, ibig sabihin. So I'm going to start with 0, like what I did on my illustration. Nag-start ako sa 0, and I'm going to end with 2 pi. All right? So I'm going to start with 0, and then, okay na yan. So if you want to type 2 pi, ayun, so press 2, and then yung pi. Yung pi, makikita nyo siya dito. So let me enlarge it. Okay? So yung pi, eto, hindi pala kita. Sorry. Ito na lang. Yung pi, yung sa may katabi ng decimal point sa baba. Alright, so I'm going to press Shift pi. And then enter. See that? So since 2 pi is 3.14, so yung 2 pi is approximate 6.28. Now yung step ko, so since ang gusto ko is pi, nag-start ako sa 30 degrees or pi over 6, so I'm going to type Shift pi over 6. Again, okay? So meaning to say, from 0 to 2 pi, yung domain ko, ang ipapakita niyang points, yung multiples ng pi over 6 or ng 30 degrees. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm going to, syempre, di ba, as pag nag-introduce tayo ng graph, ang pinapakita natin sa student, is table of values. Okay? Table of values. Halimbawa, kagaya kanina. Okay? Suppose I have that. If x is 0, di ba? Y is 0, if x is pi over 6, diba? So makikita natin dyan is 1/2. Okay, if x is pi over 4, that will be square root of 2 over 2, and so on. All right? So paano yun sa calculator? All right. All right. Allow and okay. Now, here. Again, so on the table, ito na. Okay. So as you can see here, if x0, y0, yan yung table of values natin, this 0.5235, that's actually pi over 6. Right? Pi over 6. So, gaya lang sabi ko, so if x is pi over 6, y is 1/2. See that? Okay, if x is pi over 4, that's square root of 2 over 2. And dun, okay, so kung familiar kayo, ito yung mga equivalent values niya. Right? See that? So that's the table. Now, from that, okay, so since may table of values ako, pwede ko na siyang i-trace. So makikita nyo dito sa ilalim, di ba, makikita nyo formula, delete, row, edit, yung GPH-con, ibig sabihin graph connect, then this graph plot, yun ang ibig sabihin. So I want to plot the points, itong mga ordered pairs na to. Okay, I'm going to plot these points, yung 0, 0, 0.5, 0.52, and 0.5, and so on. So I'm going to press the corresponding button, which is F6. If I'm going to do that, look what will happen. Diba ganyan yung itsura ng graph ng sine? I hope you get my point. So, ganito ko siya ipapakita, kung ba, during your synchronous classes. This is how, one way of showing, okay, yung mga points na yan, kapag plinat ko siya sa Cartesian plane, this will, how it will look like. See that? Okay? From one cycle ni sine. Okay, now, syempre, kung na-plot mo siya, you can now connect the points to draw a smooth curve. Right? Okay. So, again, press ko yung table. Then this time, kung kanina, ang press ko is yung graph plot, this time, I'm going to press yung graph connect. Okay? So, i-connect ko siya. So, to do that, I'm going to press F5. See that? Okay? Especially sa mga teachers natin na nagtuturo ng graphs, di ba ang sinasabi natin, kunyari, grade 9 kayo, graph ng parabola, it's a smooth curve, hindi siya patusok. Tama? Otherwise, absolute value yun. Same with sine, hindi siya yung ganito. Yung graph niya, hindi yung ganito. Tama? Okay, it's a smooth curve. It's always a smooth curve. Okay? So like that. Yeah, so graph ko hindi. Okay? So, pero my point is, the graph of sine is a smooth curve. See that? Then, you can actually alter this if you want. Ibig ko sabihin, I can change the setting. So this time, kanina, pinakita ko yung domain from 0 to 2 pi. What will happen kung ang domain ko from negative 2 pi to 2 pi? Okay, so look what will happen. So I'm going to press negative 2, shift pi. Okay, see that? Negative 6.28, this, and then it will end on 6.28. So look what will happen. Okay, pag kinonect ko siya, there you go. So makakita ka ngayon ng dalawang wave, right? So meaning to say, yung isang complete na ganito, alright, yung isang ganito is one cycle ng sine wave. Okay? One cycle, right? So actually, that one cycle refers to the period. Okay? Clear? So that's how, that's one way, alternative way on how you are going to present or introduce the graph of y equals sine x to your students. Okay? Okay. Next. Now, by the way, so itong calculator na to, this is very powerful. So I want to emphasize yung table, itong table mode, yung graph mode. Okay? Table mode, graph mode, and dyna mode are connected to each other. All right? Ano ibig ko sabihin? Remember, what I pressed here, or what I enter here is y equals sine x, right? Look, if I'm going to go to the graph mode, nandun yung sine x. Tama? Ngayon lang ako pumasok sa graph mode, pero meron na siyang naka-enter na function. So because, like I said, they are connected to each other. Right? So, okay. Now, this time, okay, so let's have this activity. So, given that f of x equals a sine x, describe what will be the effect in the change in a in the graph of f of x. Now, so syempre, we teachers, alam natin kung ano yung effect ng a. Kaya lang, I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you another idea how to do it kung i-introduce nyo sa class yung effect ng A, which is the amplitude, right? Okay. So, kunyari, okay. So, I'm going to go to the dyna mode, all right? So, pag sinabing dyna mode, short for dynamic mode. Okay. So, okay. So, I'm going to enter this equation, y equals a sine x. Paano ako magkakaroon ng A? I have to enter, I have to press alpha. Okay? Ito, yung letter, yung color pink or orange. So that will be alpha A. Ano yung A ko? Ito. Makikita niyan. Once you press alpha, so look for the buttons with color red kung ano yung gusto mo maging variable. Like that. And then, sine x. Okay? See that? Okay. Now, so, I'm going to set it like kanina. So, ibig sabihin, I'm going to control ano ba yung gusto kong makita sa mode ko. Suppose I want to start with negative 2 and ends with negative 2, then my step is 1. Okay na yan. Okay, now, then, look what will happen. Okay, so, ang kagandahan nito is mapapakita nyo sa student what will be the effect of that the change in A sa graph ni sine x. Look, start tayo with 0. So, syempre, we know if A is 0, that will be y equals 0 sine x or y equals 0. That's a horizontal line. Okay. So, now, this is the original. If A is 1, y equals sine x. Diba? Yan yung nakita nating graph kanina. look, what will happen if A is 2? See that? Diba? Nag-change siya ng height. Nagbago yung amplitude natin. Right? Then, balik ko siya kay 1. Alright? 0, -1, -2. See that? So from there, while you're explaining something, the student will realize, okay, as I change the value of A, magbabago yung height nung graph ko. Tama? Yung amplitude. Okay. See that? Now, if you want to, gusto nyo pang taasan, okay, gawin natin -3. Okay? Set natin. Suppose I want to have -3. Alright? Then this one will become 3. Alright? Look, what will happen? Okay, so that's it. If A is -3, this is how it look like. If A is -2, yan yung graph ko. If A is -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. See that? Very dynamic. So makikita ng student, okay, ganun yung effect sa graph as A changes. See that? Okay. Clear tayo? So now, pwede nyo siyang gamitin hindi lang sa trigonometric function. Kung grade 9 teacher kayo, pwedeng-pwede yan sa quadratic function. Okay? Kung grade 8 teacher kayo, pwedeng-pwede yan sa systems of equation. Okay? Mapapagalaw niyo yung lines nyo if you want to discuss certain points there. Okay? Certain topic on that. Okay. Now, okay. So, clear tayo paano ginagamit yung dynamode. Okay? So, that's it. Okay? Now, meron dito na notice nyo may speed. Actually, kung napanood niyo yung webinar ko last month, dito rin sa Casio ETU, okay, yung speed dito, ano yung ibig sabihin yan? So, F1 kung stop and go, F2 for slow, F3 normal, F4 fast. What I'm using is F1, stop and go, meaning to say, I'm the one in control kung gagalaw yung graph o hindi. Now, what will happen if I'm going to press F4? Okay, or a faster motion. See that? Okay? See that? Kanina, ito yun, this symbol, you might pause and then play. That's F1. If I'm going to press F4, notice nyo to, follow my cursor, mababago yan if I'm going to press F4. See that? Okay, once I press execute, then dynamode. Okay, look, I'm not clicking anything on my mouse, hindi ko siya ginagalaw, pero kusang nagmo-move yung graph ko. See that? So, para saan yan? Okay, actually, you can do that while explaining things so that students, okay, yung sinasabi ni Sir, nga, ganun yung nangyayari. Something like that. Okay? You can do that. Now, okay, now, that's dynamode. Now, let me go to graph mode. Okay, graph mode. Okay, see that? Like I said, they are connected to each other. Yung table mode, graph mode, and dynamode are connected to each other. Naka-enter na agad yung A sin X. So, let me delete it. How are we going to delete it? So, ito yun, delete. So, all you have to do is to press F2. Okay? Then, may magpa-prompt dyan. Do you want to delete it? Press F1 if yes, F6 if no. So, of course, we want to delete it. I'm going to press F1. Okay, so there you go. Now, this is the, kung gumagamit ka ng technology, ng calculator or ng other graphing apps like Desmos, GeoGebra, usually ganting ginagawa nyo. Okay? Halimbawa, I'm going to graph y equals sine x. Okay? Papakita ko siya. Then, gusto ko rin pakita sa students ko, graph of y equals 2 sine x. Okay. There you go. By the way, so you will notice colored siya. The color of the equation represents the color in the graph. Okay? So, expect we're going to have blue and red na graph. Okay? Like this. Okay? See that? Again, yung blue, that's the graph of y equals sine x, while the red one is the graph of y equals 2 sine x. See that? Okay. So, yan yung combined. Di ba usually, normally kapag nagpa-activity kayo sa class, usually graphing paper, may color pen kayo, they will do it. And from there, they will discover, okay, A represents the amplitude. Tama? Okay. Now, okay, so allow me to unselect it. Okay, now may gusto pa ako ipakita dito. Alright. So, what if I want to get the amplitude? Suppose, well, of course, we know the amplitude is 1 because y equals sine x. But we know amplitude, that's the absolute value or the absolute difference of the maximum and minimum divided by 2, right? So we know the maximum height of the wave is 1, right? So papakita natin using the calculator. Okay, so for a while. Okay. So like I said, ayan, so that's one of the glitch nga nito. So pag na-reach niya yung certain minutes, so nagre-restart siya. But don't worry, whatever you type on your unit, nandun pa rin naman siya. Okay. Okay. So kapag gumagamit kayo nito, so may experience nyo rin siya. Okay? So yung kusa siyang magre-restart after some time siguro. Okay. But like I said, don't worry, hindi mawawala yung mga tinype nyo. Okay. As I was saying, okay, so if I want to get the maximum point reached by the graph, pwede. Okay? So how? So makikita niyo yung mga buttons ko sa primary buttons ko dito sa taas. Meron tayong tinatawag na G-solve. Okay? So if I'm going to press F5, see that? Okay. So again, I'm after for the maximum value. Of course, we're expecting 1 kasi nga, okay, because of the amplitude. If I'm going to press F2, so the maximum value for Y is 1. See that? Y equals 1. Right? Y equals 1. Ayan, no? See that? Yung cursor na pink. Okay. Doing the same, ang minimum value dyan, we're expecting the result is negative 1, right? So by pressing F3, since nakatapat kay F3, okay, the minimum point or minimum value is Y equals negative 1. See that? Same with this. Okay, so that's how we do it. All right, now, paano kung Y equals sine X? So now, I'm going to select the red one, then I'm going to unselect it. Paano mag-select, unselect? So press mo lang yung select. Okay, select. Okay. Look, eto, naka-unselect yung blue. If I'm going to select it, press ko lang yung select. Then, makikita nyo, magiging dark. Magkakaroon ng shade yung equal sign. See that? Okay, as well with red. Okay, so let me unselect it. So that ang mag-display lang sa graph ko, yung color red, as shown. Okay, now, similarly, what we're expecting here, the maximum is 2, the minimum value is negative 2. So, G-solve, press F2, there you go. See that? Okay, the value of Y is 2. The maximum value of Y is 2. Okay, similarly, the minimum is negative 2. See that? Okay, so that's how we do it for the graph of Y equals sine X and Y equals 2 cosine X. So, yon. Ganun din sa Y equals cosine X, di ba? Usually pareho lang, halos pareho yung sine and cosine. All right. Okay, so that's for Y equals sine X. So from there, as I was saying, through the use of this calculator, makikita nyo ngayon okay, makikita ng students yung effect ng A sa graph ni sine. Clear? All right, now let's have the next one. Okay, this one will be, we know, syempre, we teachers, alam natin kung ano yung effect ng B. So your B will determine your period. Tama? Tama, and usually that's given by dun sa mga senior high school teachers and sa mga teachers na naalala nyo pa yung trigonometry nyo, that's given by 2 pi over B. Right? Okay, so now, let's have this. Let me delete it. Okay, delete ko to. Okay. So papakita ko ngayon yung graph, yung changes sa B. Okay, using graph mode. So I'm going to type sine X. All right. Okay. By the way, we know sa sine, ang graph, ang domain ng sine, kunyari ito yung Cartesian plane mo, di ba all real numbers yan, right? Kasi it will extend to the negative and positive infinity. Tama? That's the sine. Okay. But in this calculator, actually, you can limit your domain. Pwede akong mag-set ng domain other than the set of real numbers. So how are you going to do that? Okay. Ayan siya ulit. Okay. Sige. Okay lang yan. Okay, like I said, pwede akong mag-graph, okay? Pwede akong mag-graph dito sa calculator ko, okay? Using this, okay? Using this. Okay. Okay. So, yan. All right, so Y equals sine X, then ito, so I'm going to graph Y Okay? So like I said, limited yung domain. So I'm going to press shift. Again, yung initial natin, 0 to 2 pi. Okay, shift pi. All right. Now, look at this. Look what will happen to the graph. Okay. See that? Okay. So from the original, wherein the domain is the set of real numbers, i-extend natin yan. So, nalimit ko siya in one cycle. Tama? Now, if you want to let your students see what will happen if you're going to change the value of b, okay, di mag-enter ka ng another. So, suppose I want to type, halimbawa, instead of 1, I'm going to replace 1 by 2. So, that will be sine 2x. Then, same domain. Okay. So, shift, okay, bracket, 0, comma, 2, shift, pi. Then shift, bracket. Ito yun. Okay? Okay. Now, look what will happen. See that? Okay. Remember, yung color blue ko, that's one cycle. One sine wave. Tama? So, meaning to say, okay, same domain, 0 to 2 pi, pero yung graph ng y equals sine 2x, meron na siyang 2 cycles agad. Tama? So like I said, your B will determine your cycle. In the first place, okay, yung y equals sine x, again, y equals sine x, the period is 2 pi over b. Ano ba yung b ko? 1. Tama? So meaning to say, from 0 to 2 pi, it will take one sine wave every 2 pi, one sine wave, right? So on the other hand, yung y equals sine 2x, okay, so the period is 2 pi over 2 or pi, right? Ibig sabihin, kung 2 pi yan, ito yung pi, ibig sabihin, so it will take pi, okay, para magkaroon ka ng one sine wave, right? Another pi, another sine wave. That's why ganun yung itsura nun. See that? Okay, I hope na realize yung ibig ko sabihin. So ganun ka dynamic yung calculator natin. Okay? So that's how you enter it. If you want to add another, so graph tayo ng sine, I'm going to use even para uniform, sine 4x, all right? Same domain, shift, okay, 0, comma, 2, shift, pi, shift, bracket. Now look what will happen. Expect natin, okay, yung color green, there will be 4 sine waves. Okay, so kasi nga, ang period ko dyan, ang period natin is 2 pi over 4 or pi over 2. Tama? Okay? And we know there are 4 pi over 2 in 2 pi. Correct? So that's why you can see there, apat na sine wave. Apat na cycles ng sine wave. Clear? Okay, that's the effect of there. Okay? Okay. I hope clear tayo dun sa effect niyan. Next. Okay. So, this is important. Unahin ko yung vertical translation. Mamaya na to. Alright, kasi ito madali lang kasi. Okay. Given that f of x equals d plus sine x, describe what will be the effect of the change in d in the graph of f of x. Now, so syempre, initially dun sa mga students na as in wala pang background, di ba, usually ang gagawin natin, pakuha tayo ng graphing paper, pag-graph tayo sa isang Cartesian plane ng mga different equations, okay? So, pwede rin naman natin gawin. So, now, ano ibig ko sabihin? Alright. Delete ko to. Okay? Now, ang gagawin ko ngayon, so mag-graph ako ng, okay, gawin ko na lang, sin x na lang ulit ako para madaling, para kita sa screen, okay? Although you can change naman the amplitude, pwede nyo gawing fraction, gawin nyo negative, pwede naman. Okay. Sin x, and then graph ko bigla ngayon yung sin x, kunyari, plus 3. Okay, now, from there, actually, mapapakita nyo na student, okay, the original is the blue one, right? That's y equals sine x. Now, what will happen if I'm going to add 3? So, this will be the new graph. Okay? This will be the new graph. Okay? Similarly, if I'm going to have sine x, Then I have suppose negative 2. Lagay ko dito. Okay, negative 2. Okay, what will happen? So napunta sa ilalim yung graph. Pero syempre initially, makikita lang nila nasa ibabaw, nasa ilalim, pero how many units? Okay? Actually, pwede nyo na ituro siya dyan right away, or if other than that, pwede nyo namang gawin to. Okay. So, instead of showing this one like this, pwede nyo gamitin yung dynamic mode like what we did earlier. Okay. So, going to the dyna mode or dynagraph. Okay. So, instead of typing 3 equations, pwede ako mag-type ng isang equation lang. Alright, this is what I mean. So, alpha A plus sine x. Okay. Again, my variable is A again. Gusto niyo yung variable B, C, D, okay lang naman. Okay, I'll just use A here. Alright. Now, then, isi-set ko siya. Okay, so negative 3 to 3, okay na yan. Okay. And then, ang speed ko, I want stop and go. Meaning to say, like I said, I'm the one who is in control, all right, of the graph. Pressing F6, this is what will happen. Okay. Initially, ito yon. Ask your student, halimbawa, pine-present mo to, ask your student, focus kayo doon sa value ng A. If A is 0, that will be y equals sine x. Because A is 0, right? If A is 1, what will happen? See that? Nag-move siya 1 unit upward. So, dapat from there, magkaroon na sila ng idea, okay, umangat siya ng isang beses. If A is 2, okay, another unit. If A is 3, so the graph is 3 units below dun the original. Right? Then that's it. From there, mapapakita nyo sa kanila. Okay? That's how dynamic tong calculator. See that? Okay. So, ganun nyo siya mapapakita. Alright? Actually, madali lang yung vertical translation. So, from there, ayun na, pwede na kayo mag-generalize or create a conclusion. So, if D is positive, alright, di ba? If D is positive, the graph will move D units upward. Okay? If D is negative, the graph will move D units downward, something like that. So that's how you explain it in your students. Okay? Now, let's go back to horizontal translation. Okay, horizontal translation. Okay, so since nasa dyna mode na ako, I'll stick to that. Okay, this time, let me change the equation. This time, the variable will be here. Okay, so titake ko siya as 1 unit. Okay, so let's have sine x. I'll just use A again. Pwede naman other variable. Okay. Okay. Now, but be careful. This time, yung translation natin usually in terms of radian, in terms of pi. Tama? In terms of pi dapat, usually. So, I'm going to start with 0. Okay. Then, let's say pi over 2. Gawin ko na lang pi over 2. So, shift pi over 2. Okay, and then ang translation ko, ang step ko, shift pi over 2 units din. Alright, look what will happen. Alright, if I'm going to press it, gumalaw siya, right? Okay, so ganun ang nangyayari. Alright, so ibig sabihin, from there, your students will, mapaparealize ng students nyo, okay, so if C is positive, okay, that will be, solve mo yan, kunyari, sinolve mo. If C is positive, the graph will move C units to the right after solving for X. Right? So meaning to say, itong letter B, the graph will move pi over 2 units to the right. Mapapakita nyo yung ganon using this calculator. Alright? If C is negative, the graph will move pi over 2 units to the left. Okay? So that's it. So let's verify that using this graph mode. Okay. Suppose enter ko sine x original. All right? Lagyan ko ng domain, shift. Okay? Shift pi and then shift rel. Okay. again, like I said, verify natin that this one, the graph will move pi over 2 units to the right, applying this one. Okay, so that's it. So sine x, okay, minus shift pi over 2. Over 2. Okay, there you go. Then I'm going to enter the, di ko lagyan ko ng domain pala. So, shift 0, 5 pi over 2. Gawin ko na lang pang 5 pi over 2. Wait lang. Okay, there you go. So, ibig sabihin, ayan no, so the graph will move pi over 2 units to the right. Di ba gumalaw yung graph mo? Okay? So, palitan ko pala to. Wait. I'm going to make this in domain ko, pi over 2 pala. Okay, shift pi over 2. There you go. All right. See that? So, the graph will move pi over 2 units to the right. Ganun yon. Okay? So, mabe-verify natin siya using the calculator. Okay? So, sine pa lang yon. Actually, sine and cosine, ma-discuss mo ng maayos yung sine, same with cosine. Alright? Now, let's have this. Okay. Sige. Okay, wait lang. Wala. Okay, so, okay, before we have sine and cosine, like I said, they are just the same. Okay, so let's have this problem. Okay, so before we have the other trigonometric function, tangent, cotangent, and secant, cosecant. Okay, suppose I have this one. Okay, let's have this. So, apply natin yung mga properties kanina. Like I said, nakita natin what will be the effect in A, what will be the effect in the graph of sine x on the change of A, on the change of B, on the change of C, and D. Okay, from there, ma-answeran natin tong mga problem na to. Okay, let's have this. Given that f of x equals 2/3 cosine 3x, find a function g, okay, g of x, whose graph is a reflection of f with respect to the x-axis. Ano ba yung reflection? Okay, so now, okay, reflection. Okay, so let's have this. Suppose I'm going to enter, again, let's have the basic one, sine x lang, and then enter ko yung negative sine x. Look what will happen. So yung graph niyan, makikita nyo, ito yung tinatawag na reflection, mirror image, right? Tama? So imagine nyo, yung x-axis natin, mga mom and sir, pag finold ko yun, kunyari papel yung Cartesian plane, pag finold ko siya, wherein the x-axis will be my line of fold, or yung crease ko, magko-coincide yung mga points, right? This one will coincide with this one will coincide with that, and so on. So, meaning to say, ayan yon, symmetric sila, diba? So, reflection with respect to x-axis. Okay, knowing this one, okay, balikan ko yung original equation, sine x, negative sine x. Knowing that graph, masasagutan ko ngayon yung question. Okay? Given that f of x equals 2/3 cosine 3x, find a function whose graph is a reflection of x with respect to x-axis. Can you guess the answer here? Correct. If your answer is y or g of x equals negative 2/3 cosine 3x, tama kayo, ma'am and sir. Okay, pakita natin kung reflection nga ba siya. Okay, so again, I'm going to enter the equation. Pakita natin ha. So that's it. 2/3. Okay, that will be 2/3 cosine 3x. Okay, cosine 3x. And then, pakita natin, verify natin if reflection ba talaga siya. So, 2/3 cosine 3x. Look what will happen. So, again, pag sinabing reflection, okay, that's it. Okay? You can actually zoom it out like this. Okay? Zoom in ko siya para mas makita. See that? Alright. Ayan yun. Okay. Zoom in, zoom out. Okay. There you go. So, clear tayo? Okay, so from there, mabe-verify natin, okay, our answer in this problem is correct. So, g of x equals negative 2/3 cosine 3x. Let's have another. Okay, if the function f of x equals negative sine x minus pi plus 3 is reflected about the x-axis, what is the new function? Okay, parang rephrase mo lang yung question number 1. Okay, here g of x, this one another function. Okay, can you take a guess? Sige, again, let me read it. So if the function f of x equals negative sine quantity x minus pi plus 3 is reflected about the x-axis, what is the new function? Okay, the answer is, if your answer is f of x equals negative 3, syempre, okay, yung counterpart niya, kasi nga, we have to reflect it with respect to x-axis, and then you have to reverse the sign of your amplitude. Verify natin sa calculator. Okay. So, delete. Okay, delete ulit muna. Allow me. Okay. Again, y equals, ano yung function? Okay. The original function is negative sine, okay, x plus minus pi minus shift pi, all right, then plus 3. See that? Then, let's verify kung yung answer ba dito tama. Okay. So, let's enter negative 3. Okay. Plus, like I said, reverse natin yung sign ng amplitude, sine of x minus pi. Nothing will change dun sa horizontal shift or horizontal translation. Minus pi. Okay. Let's see. Then, press F6 to draw it. Okay. Hindi nyo siya makikita kasi masyado mataas. Alright. Zoom out natin. Okay. See that? Okay. Zoom out ko lang. There you go. So, again, going back to the question, find the new function such that they are reflection of each other with respect to x-axis. Okay. See that? Okay. So, again, imagine nyo, kung ipo-fold ko yan in such a way, this will be my crease or the line of fold, magko-coincide tong point na to, dito, itong point na dito, and so on. Okay? Clear? Okay. So, ganun kaganda yung meron kang technology. Okay, di ba? So, mas mabe-verify mo kung tama yung sagot mo, di ba? So, that will add another confidence. Okay, tama yung mga sinasabi ko. Okay. Let's have another. Okay. Oops. Now, this one, medyo baguhin natin ng konti. Lagyan lang natin ng konting twist lang, konti lang naman. If the function f of x equals 1/2 sine 2 times x minus pi plus 4 is reflected about the y equals negative 1, what is the new function? See that? Okay, so allow me to enter, mamaya natin sagutan, enter ko muna yung graph. Okay, so yung na-mention dyan, 1/2 sine, okay, so 1/2 sine 2 times x minus pi. 2 times x minus shift pi. Okay, plus 4 yata yon, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And then y equals negative 1. Okay. Draw ko, ay, mali, wait. Y equals shift option. Teka lang, naka-degree yata ako. So let me change it. So palitan ko na lang to. So I'm going to have this one. Wait lang. Okay. Kasi na-count niya as sine 2 times x minus pi kaya nagkaroon ng line. So dapat sine wave. There you go. Okay? Again, ay nakita nyo kanina. So nagulat tayo, no? Bakit? Ako rin nagulat. Bakit naging line? Kasi nga, so by doing that, ang binasa ng calculator is sine 2 times x minus pi. Siyempre, we know sine 2 is a number. Real number yan. Then x minus pi. Magiging line talaga siya. Tama? So we have to be very careful with our syntax. So I'm going to consider this one as 1. Okay? Ayan, as 1. Okay. From there, magkakaroon tayo ng ganito. Okay. Answeran natin yung question. What will be the new function so that the new line of fault or decrease or magre-reflect yung graph nito kay y equals -1? Can you guess the answer? So one thing is for sure, we have to reverse the sign of negative of 1/2. Tama? So, now, like kanina, di ba? So, this 3 here means 3 units above x-axis, right? This -3 here, the graph is 3 units below the x-axis. Now, dito, how many units is this graph compared to y equals -1? Siyempre, from 4 to -1, that's 5 units, right? Meaning to say, yung graph na hinahanap natin is 5 units below y equals -1. Did you get my point? Okay, so meaning to say, okay, like I said, so all you have to do is to reverse the sign of your amplitude. Sorry, -1 pala to. Okay, next graph ako. So reverse the sign of your amplitude. That will be 1/2. All right, and then nothing will change on my, okay, on my angle part. 2 times x minus pi. Shift pi. All right. This time, kung 5 units below, so that will be -6 dapat. Tama? Since this graph is 5 units above y equals -1. So, the graph 5 units below, dapat -6 yung value ng d ko. Right? So, let's have -6. Okay, tingnan natin kung reflection nga, magre-reflect siya kay horizontal y equals -1. There you go. See that? Zoom out ko pa para mas kita. Ayan, medyo maliit. Pero the point here is, yun yan, makikita natin, di ba? Mirror image of the other. So the green one and the green and the blue one are mirror image of each other with respect to y equals -1, which is the red one. See that? Okay, so that's how we do it. All right. Okay, so tama yung answer natin. So -6. Okay. Okay. So medyo iba na to. Now, sige, let's have this. Okay. Now, erase ko muna to. Let's have the fourth question, fourth problem. Again, nasa sine and cosine pa lang ako ha. Okay. So use the graphs to find the values of a and b such that sine ax minus pi equals cosine 2x plus b. See that? Ano daw yung value ng a and b so that this equation is equal? Okay. Paano natin gagawin yon? So allow me to graph y equals sine x. Okay, see this allow me to graph y equals sine x and y equals cosine x. Like I said, di ba, I still remember nung college ako, in-explain in-example yan ng teacher ko, okay, ang sine wave, cosine wave, parang alon yan, so nag-uunahan, as you can see here. Tama nga naman, tama? Now, ang goal natin dito sa problem, ano yung value ng a and b so that equal sila? Did you get my point? Ano yung value ng a and b so that the equation is true? Equal yung sine at cosine. Did you get my point? Okay, so ito. So, nag-restart ulit siya. So, sige. While waiting for the unit, okay. Sige, teka lang. On ko lang. Okay. Ano yung value ng a and b ulit? So that equal. Okay. So, pakita natin sa graph. Okay. So, zoom ko lang. Okay. Ilab, editor. Alright. Enlarge. Okay. Again, mangyayari to when using the emulator. So, when ma-reaching certain time, again and again, sinasabi ko to, ganun talaga nangyari. So, nagre-reset siya. But don't worry, kung ano yung huli kong in-enter, nandun pa rin yun. Okay, as I was saying, dapat pag sinabi nating equal yung graph ng y equals sine x and cosine x, dapat yung blue at red magko-coincide. Did you agree? Dapat pag equal yung y equals sine x and cosine x, they must coincide. Okay, so now look at this. So allow me to have a horizontal translation. So tingnan nyo to Okay, suppose, okay, shift pi over 2. Okay, delete ko to over 2 minus x. Look at this. Okay. Look, nag-coincide, di ba? So again, like I said, the blue one represents the graph of y equals sine x. The red one represents the y equals cosine x. Now, look, kapag dinisplay ko yung graph, tingnan nyo mabuti, yung blue na wave magiging red. Look at this, ma'am and sir. Wala pala. Ulit. Ayan, no? Tama? So, nag-coincide siya. So, kanina kung napansin nyo, blue naging red. So, parang litmus paper lang, no? De, joke lang. Okay. So, ayan, no? So, nag-coincide yung dalawang graph. So, ano ibig ko sabihin? So, paano ko... Okay, anong relation ngayon nung ginawa ko dito? And, paano ko nalamang pi over 2 in-enter ko? Can I enter any value? Let's find out. Suppose gawin ko siyang pi over 4. Magko-coincide kaya yan? Definitely not. Tama? Because pi over 2 units translation is different from pi over 4. Pero bakit pi over 2? What's the reason behind that? Okay? Anyone can tell me? Syempre, hindi ko naman kayo makikita. Okay. The reason behind that, okay, is this. Okay? Show ko yan. Okay. So, note that sine x is equal to cosine pi over 2 minus x. Are you familiar with this? Sa mga trigonometry teachers, we call this as cofunction identities, right? Sine x is equal to cosine 90 minus x or pi over 2 minus x, right? Okay, cofunction meaning to say yung angles natin are complementary. The sum is 90, right? Okay, ganun yon. Okay, so meaning to say, with that said, okay, so from there, so equal sila provided pag inad ko yung angle which is ax minus pi and 2x plus b, equal ko kay 90. Did you get my point? Okay, again, cofunction meaning to say yung angles mo complementary, the sum is 90 or pi over 2. The angle here on the left side of the equation is ax minus pi, while this one is 2x plus b. Adding it will be pi over 2. Then that's it, combine like terms. So that will be a plus 2x, then b equals, so transpose ko yung negative pi on the right side, that will be 3 pi over 2. Now, what this tells us? Now, ang ibig sabihin nito, okay, I don't have x here, right? Allow me to write. Gusto kong magsulat. Okay, so dito. Okay, so as I was saying, so meron akong ax plus 2, right? So ax, a plus 2, x plus b equals 3 pi over 2. So from there, makukuha ko yung value ng a. Why? Because ibig sabihin ng 3 pi over 2, that's 3 pi over 2 plus 0x, right? So meaning to say, I can now equate the coefficient of x, which is a plus 2, equal to 0. From there, my value of a is negative 2. Similarly, so yung b ko, which is the constant, equate ko dun sa constant on the right side. So therefore, the value of b is 3 pi over 2. See that? Okay. Okay. Bakit may 2k pi? Kasi nga, coterminal. Okay, I'll explain that later. Okay, so the value of b is 3 pi over 2 plus 2k pi. Now, paano ko ito ngayon papakita sa graph? Okay. Nasaan na yung graph ko? Alright. Okay, ayan ulit, nag-stop siya. So, sige, while waiting for our emulator, sige, let me restart it. Okay, on ko lang ulit siya. So, sige. Okay, so medyo ito lang talaga yung glitch niya. So, Kaya lagi kong ulitin, kung ngayon lang kayo naka-tune in, this will happen talaga sa calculator pag na-reach niya yung certain time niya. Okay, anyway, so here it is. So now, pakita natin na equal. So since ang value ng A natin, okay, ang value ng A natin is negative 2, okay, so that will be sine negative 2x minus pi. Alright, allow me to enter that on my calculator. Sine, okay, negative 2x minus pi. Shift pi, okay, wala na. See that? Okay, then i-graph ko siya. Pakita ko lang yung graph. So yan yon. So now, dapat, ma'am and sir, kapag in-enter ko yung graph ng cosine, kagaya ng explanation ko kanina, magko-coincide. Alright? So, now, my value of B is 3 pi over 2. Siyempre, hindi mo naman may enter na may variable dito. Okay? I'll explain bakit may 2k pi dyan. So, initially, suppose the value of B is 3 pi over 2. So, what I'm going to enter here is cosine, okay, 2x, that will be plus, I think, tama, plus 3 pi over 2. Shift pi over 2. Now, again, ang in-expect natin, the red and the blue will coincide. See that? Okay. Nakita nyo? Nag-coincide siya. Now, clear tayo? Okay, explain natin bakit may plus 2k pi. If case 1, plus 2 pi. If case 2, plus 4 pi. Right? So, simply because, di ba, yung 3 pi over 2, kunyari, ito yung 3 pi over 2, di ba? Okay? Coterminal. Plus 2 pi, another 2 pi, and so on. So that's the explanation there. All right. So meaning to say, yung 3 pi over 2 plus 2 pi ako, that will be 7 pi over 2, right? So now, look, if I'm going to change, gawin ko siyang 7 pi, dapat magko-coincide pa rin yan. See that? Okay. Tama? Now, what if the value of k is 2? So that will be 4. Tama? 4 pi. So 4 plus 3 halves, that will be 11 halves. Tama? So now, what I'm going to enter here in my calculator, instead of 7 pi over 2, gawin ko siyang 11. Look, again, we're expecting the graph will coincide. Okay, see that? So yun yung ibig sabihin, ma'am and sir, ng plus 2k pi. Clear? Okay. Now, let's have this. Okay, nasa if f of x equals 2 sine 3x plus pi over 8, find a function g of x equals a cosine bx plus c so that f of x plus g of x equals 0 for all values of x. Okay, ano kaya ibig sabihin nun? Parang ang hirap ng question. Ulitin natin. If f of x equals 2 sine 3x plus pi over 8, find a function g of x equals a cosine bx plus c so that pag inad ko yung dalawang graph, the answer is 0. Okay. Now, solve muna natin. Okay. So, ano ba ibig sabihin ng f of x plus g of x equals 0? Sige nga. Ibig sabihin ng f of x plus g of x equals 0, transposing it, that will be like this. Right? Transpose ko yung g of x on the other side, that will be f of x equals negative g of x. Agree? Or, I can have this. See that? Ulitin ko. Ang ibig sabihin, ma'am and sir, ng f of x plus g of x equals 0 is f of x equals negative g of x or this one. Tama? Now, i-relate ko tong problem number 5 sa previous problem, sa problem number 4. Now, note that okay? 'Di ba ang sabi kasi equal sila. Okay? So meaning to say para maging equal yung f of x and g of x, dapat co-function. Tama? Did you get my point? That's what we did earlier sa problem number 4. Para maging equal yung f and g ko, dapat co-function or complementary yung angles natin. Or itong part na to. But before that, recall natin yung negative identity kung naalala nyo. Okay? Because without this, medyo mahihirapan tayo. Recall natin yung identity for negative angles. We know ang sine negative theta is negative sine theta. Right? Naalala niyo po to? So, that's what we're going to do here. Tama? So, ibig sabihin, yung negative 2 sine 3x plus pi over 8 is the same as 2 sine negative 3x minus pi over 8. Okay? See that? Okay. So, that's what happened. Alright. Then, that's it. That's what we did. So, from there, makukuha ko na yung value ng A right away. Tama? So, A is 2. Tama? Okay. A is 2. Ngayon, mag-i-equal siya provided co-function. So, gabalik tayo dun sa ginawa natin kanina. So, meaning to say, yung 3x minus pi over 8, if you're going to add it to bx plus c, dapat equal kay pi over 2. See that? Then, combining like terms, I'm going to have b minus 3, x plus c, then transpose ko yung pi over 8, that will be like that. So, clearly, the value of b is 3, and the value of c is pi over 2 plus pi over 8, or 5 pi over 8. There you go. See that? Now, tingnan natin, what will be the effect sa graph? Okay, pakita natin ngayon. Ano kaya itsura nito pag burn up natin? So, going back on the question, so again, the value of b is 3. Okay, so pakita natin, 2 sine 3x plus pi over 8. So, y equals 2 sine 3x plus pi over 8. Shift pi over 8. All right? Now, so that's the graph. Okay, ano kaya itsura nung graph pag may certain value ng b and c? So that will be, again, a is 2. So that will be 2 cosine bx, which is 3, plus 5 pi over 8. So that's it. Pakitandaan. So that will be, my a is 2. Okay, cosine, my b is 3. So bx kasi yon, kaya 3x. Okay? Then, ang value ng c ko is 5 pi over 8. Okay, plus 5 pi over 8. Shift pi over 8. Okay, parang pangit. Shift 5 pi over 8. There you go. Separately, yan yung graph. Tama? Kaya lang, going back on the question, f of x plus g of x equals 0. Pag inad ko yon, equals 0. Ano ba itsura nun? Okay, pakita natin. So what I did here sa graph is two separate graphs. See that? What if I'm going to enter it as 1? Following the function. Okay, kung i-add ko dito si g of x, that is 2 cosine 3x plus 5 pi over 8. Okay, that will be 5 pi over 8. Okay, then delete ko na to. Alright, so look, again, yung sum nung pag inad ko yung dalawang function equals 0 daw. So what will happen? See that? Horizontal line. Did you get it? Kasi nga, y equals 0 lalabas. Kasi nga, my f is this. Okay, my f is this, 2 sine 3x plus pi over 8. My g is 2 cosine 3x plus 5 over 8. Pag inad ko daw yung dalawang function, equal daw kay 0. Definitely, so graphically, that will be a horizontal line. Agree? I hope I made myself clear there. Kaya horizontal line yung result. Ganda, no? I hope na-appreciate nyo yung gamit ng calculator. Machi-check mo siya actually. So that's why important na somehow you equip yourself on this unit. And using this unit. Okay? Sige. Okay na yon. So, that's it. Alright. So, let's have, I think, last na to. Sa cosine. Wala pa tayo sa ibang function kasi. I think this will be the last for sine cosine. Okay. So, let f of x, problem number 6, let f of x equals 4 cosine pi over 2 minus the quantity of 2x plus pi plus 3 sine 2x plus pi, ang haba, no? express f of x in the form a sine b times x plus c. Sketch the graph over 2 periods. Okay, hindi ko na ito papansinin kasi sa calculator, all real numbers yun. Okay lang naman. Okay, what I'm trying to say here, ang gusto ko makita dito, what will be the function in terms of a sine bx plus c. Itong mahabang equation na to, dapat ang final form is a sine b times x plus c. How are we going to do that? Okay. How are we going to do that? So, since, okay, focus tayo dito, okay, we know yung cosine, we can express it in terms of sine provided co-function siya. Right? So, meaning, yung cosine theta should be equal to sine pi over 2 minus theta. Clear? So that, instead of writing cosine, this expression, or pi over 2 minus 2x, quantity 2x plus pi, so I can rewrite it as 4 using this co-function identity, sine pi over 2 minus this. This is my theta, right? This is my theta. So, I'll just copy pi over 2 minus theta. Meron pala akong pointer. Okay. See that? Again, pi over 2, ito yon. Then this is my theta, the entire theta. So, minus this. See that? Okay. So, okay. So, what will happen after that? Okay. Okay. So, what will happen after that? So, magiging sine 2x plus 5. Bakit? Because they will cancel each other. See that? Pi over 2 minus pi over 2, what will be left is 2x plus 5. So, therefore, this expression here can be written as 4 sine 2x plus 5. I-add ko doon, therefore, that will be simply 7 sine 2x plus 5. See that? Okay, so that's our answer. Okay. Now, pwede naman natin ito ipakita sa graph. Enter ko to lahat. And then, tas ito, magko-coincide din yan. Okay? But I guess siguro i-skip na natin because it's already 2:30 and nasa sine cosine pa lang yung na-discuss natin. Okay? So, sige. Now, let's have the graph of the reciprocal identities. Let's have the graph of cosecant and secant. Okay. Now, the graph, the reciprocal of sine x is cosecant, right? So now, ibig ko sabihin, if I'm going to graph y equals cosecant x, you cannot find cosecant, secant, and cotangent. By the way, that's how we pronounce it, secant and cosecant. Okay, not secant, cosecant. Okay, share lang. Now, as I was saying, you cannot find a button for cosecant and secant and cotangent on the calculator. So, paano ko i-graph ang cosecant? Now, remember, in graphing cosecant, it's important na mag-originate muna siya sa graph ng sine x. Right? Okay. So, ilimit ko siya sa domain na negative 2 pi to 2 pi. 0 to 2 pi na lang. Sige, shift 0, comma, 2, shift pi, shift bracket. There you go. Again, like I said, as I was saying, dito ko i-base yung graph ng cosecant. Tama? Okay. Now, okay. So, the graph of cosecant, ano bang meron sa cosecant kung naalala nyo? No? Okay, ang cosecant, meron tayong tinatawag na asymptotes, right? So, paano ba nagkakaroon ng asymptotes? We're going to have an asymptotes when the value of sine x is 0. Right? Or the roots, dun sa roots natin. Bakit? Simply because if the value of your sine x is 0, tama? Siyempre, yung reciprocal niyan is undefined. Tama? The reciprocal, so meaning to say, kung 0 yan, the reciprocal is undefined. Tama? Kunyari, pi over 2. No, not pi over 2. Sine pi over 2. Pi over 2 ba yun? Wait, nasa yung graph ko? Okay. Pi pala, sorry. Sine pi okay. So again, sine pi, so syempre 0 yan, right? So syempre yung cosecant pi, that's undefined. Undefined. Ayan, pangit na sulat to. Undefined, tama? Okay. So, meaning to say, I have to get the roots. Okay? Ano ba yung mga roots ko? Okay? So, once you press, again, anong pinindot ko? Press G-solve kagaya kanina, how we get the maximum and the minimum points. Okay? So, press F1 to give the roots. See that? Okay, the value of x are 0. Okay? 3.14 or pi. And 6.28 or 2 pi. See that? So, yan yung mga values na, o yan yung mga roots ko, or the value of x that will make your y equal to 0. Okay, so, now, meaning to say, if I'm going to enter the reciprocal, which is 1 over sine x, that will be the graph of cosecant, okay, using the same domain. So, shift, enter ko lang yung domain, shift pi, shift bracket. There you go. Kompleto na. Okay, look. Ito yung graph ko, di ba? Okay. Pero syempre, para mas ma-identify natin yung asymptote, wala pala akong keylob. Para ma-identify natin yung asymptote, we have to enter it. So, how are we going to do it? Okay. So, pwede nyo siyang i-type isa-isa. Okay, I'll do it. Ta-type ko isa-isa. That will be a vertical line. Tama? Ang asymptote dito should be vertical line. Kaya lang, function to y equals. So, I need to change the type of ano ibig sabihin? How to change the type? Ito, type, press F3. Then, since I'm going to input a vertical line, so I'm going to press F4. That corresponds for X. There you go. See that? From Y, tingnan nyo yung red and blue. Y yan. Yung green, purple, and black, that's X. Right? So, if X is 0, sinabi ko kanina, and then, shift pi. Okay. Shift pi. Alright. Then, shift pi. 2 pi yan. Alright. Now, there you go. See that? Yan yung mga asymptote natin. Yung green, purple, and black. See that? Asymptote yan. The red graph will never cross that lines. Okay. See that? Okay. Now, actually, you can change its type or style. Pwede ko siyang gawing broken line if you want. Okay. Press option. Hindi pala. Okay. Tool. Okay. Press F4 for the tool and then style. So from there, pwede mo siyang gawing broken line. See that? Gawin ko itong broken lines. Nag-change from solid, naging broken lines like that. So that mag-a-appear siya ngayon as broken line. Ganyan that's how we usually draw a asymptote, right? Diba? So ganyan yun. Clear? Okay. Now, that's how we do it. Now, tanong, are we going to enter the vertical line isa-isa? Parang ang tagal nun. Mahirap ipakita. Tama? I'm going to show you an alternative way na I'm going to avoid this one. Enter ko siya isa-isa. Okay. Now, ano ibig ko sabihin? Let me extend the graph. Okay. Let me extend the graph. Gawin ko siyang 0 to 4 pi. Alright. 0 to 4 pi. Now, expect natin, okay, 2 waves, right? See that? Okay, so zoom out ko lang. Okay, now, syempre, how many asymptotes yung in-expect natin? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're expecting 5 asymptotes, right? So, instead of typing 5 vertical lines, pwede ko lang siyang i-type as variable. Ano ibig ko sabihin? Like sa Dyna mode kanina, if I'm going to press alpha, okay, shift pi, okay, sorry, alpha pi, tapos ililimit ko siya, okay, in such a way, mag-a-assign ka ng value kay A, okay? So, shift equals, so, like I said, we're expecting 5 asymptotes here, so from 0 to 4, tama? So, isa-isahin mo yon, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, shift bracket. See that? Again, I'm avoiding entering 5 vertical lines isa-isa. Okay, pwede namang isahan na lang yan. Okay, I'm going to change the type also. I mean the tool, the style. All right, there you go. Now, that's it. See that? So I have the asymptotes here. Okay, once again, yung color blue ko, that's the graph of y equals sine x. Yung red ko, that's the graph of the y equals cosecant x. And together with its asymptotes. Okay? So I hope nakuha nyo yun. So if I'm going to unselect it, gusto ko si cosecant lang, that will be the graph. Okay? See that? Okay. So I hope na isundan natin yon. Okay. Now, ganun din kung cosecant. Okay? So, I mean secant and cosine. Okay. So, let's have this. Let's continue. Ito. Okay. So, sketch the graph of y equals 3 cosecant 2x plus pi plus 2. And state the domain and range. Find also the equation of the asymptote. Oh, medyo mahaba. Okay. So, sige. How are you going to do that again? Take note, ang cosecant and sine are reciprocal of each other. So, meaning to say, you have to enter, okay, delete ko na to ha. Okay. So you have to enter the original, the mother function. Okay. Sine 3 sine 2x plus pi plus 2. Okay. So I have to enter 3 sine. Okay. 3 sine. Okay. 2x plus pi. 2x. Okay. Wait pala. Naka-ano pala ako, no? Let me change the type. Okay. So again, 3 sine 2x plus pi. So shift pi plus 2. Again, this is the original graph. Nasaan na yan? Alright. Okay. Nawala na. Okay. So, to graph the cosecant, so syempre, what are you going to do is yung reciprocal. Tama? So, that will be 1 over 3 cosecant para sine. Then 2x plus pi. 2x plus shift pi, okay, plus 2. Okay. Oy, mali. Wait. Medyo maliit. Zoom out to. Zoom in. Hindi yan. Wait. Dapat nasa labas to. Wait lang. Plus 2 pala to. Exit. Dapat hindi ito yung 2. Wait. Alright. Let me fix it. So, dapat this one should be 3. There. Okay. Now. Okay. So, yan yung graph. Okay. Now, bakit ganon? So, remember, kanina na-enter ko kasi yung 3 na punta sa ilalim. That will be 1/3 kasi. So, ito dapat yon. Again, itong reciprocal sine 2x plus pi, that is the cosecant, right? And then plus 2. So, that's it. Okay, so that's the graph of y equals 3 cosecant 2x plus pi plus 2. Now, going back sa question, what is the domain? So, syempre, ang domain, all real. No. Yung sine, all real. Pero yung cosecant, anong domain yan? Tama? Anong range niyan? Okay, so syempre, okay, sulat natin So, let's have this. Okay, so again, 3 cosecant 2x plus pi plus 2. Okay, so yung domain nito, syempre, recall natin, yung sine, ang domain all real. Pero syempre, ang cosecant, not all real, di ba? Kasi nga may asymptote dyan. So, kailan ba tayo magkakaroon ng asymptote? When, okay, pero kailan ba tayo magkakaroon ng asymptote? Oops, sorry, nasa na yon? Okay, when, okay, unselect ko to. Kailan tayo magkakaroon ng asymptote? When the value of x is equal to 0. All right. So in this case, medyo pang hindi siya makikita sa graph because decimal siya. Look, if I'm going to press the root, get the roots, decimal, hindi mo siya makukuha. I mean, hindi niyo siya makikita. Okay? So let me change the problem na lang kasi, well, hindi ko siya mapapakita sa calculator because of decimal. So if I'm going to remove 2 here, all right? Yan, pwede na yan. Okay, so let me change na lang. I hope you don't mind. Okay, so now, ano ibig ko sabihin? Okay, so from here, so I can get the roots, right? Ayan, no? So negative 2 pi, negative 3 pi over 2, ayan, negative pi, and so on. So therefore, the domain here is all real kapag sine. Pero ang cosecant, except yung k pi. Agree? Tama? 0, pi over 2 pala. Pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi, and so on. So that's how we do it. Now, in this problem, hindi ko siya mapapakita yung domain niyan because magiging butal, magkakaroon ka ng decimal. Clear? Okay, as you can see there. Okay, so that's it. So, and then yung asymptote, kung ano yung roots natin. Okay? So, I'm not going to show it here kasi masyadong marami because yung graph ng sine ko all real, pero like I said, yung domain natin, yung asymptote natin will pass dun sa mga roots. Okay? So, I hope na nakuha yon. Okay. So we're almost done. So let's have this number 7, last 3 problems. Okay. So sketch the graph of y equals 4 absolute value 4 cosine x plus 2. Paano nga ba mag-enter ng absolute value sa calculator? Okay. So, kilag. Okay. Now, paano tayo mag-enter ng absolute value dito? Okay. So, resize ko lang. All right. Okay. So, now, graph ko muna yung cosine x, no? 4 cosine x. 4 cosine x. So, syempre, that's the graph. Tama? Now, ma'am and sir, kapag kinuha ko yung absolute value ng 4 cosine x, yung mga negative value dyan should be positive. Right? Magiging positive dapat yan pag kinuha ko yung absolute value. Meaning to say, wala kang graph na makikita below the x-axis. So, okay? Look at this. So, paano mag-enter na absolute value? So, option. Okay? Numeric. Okay. Then, abs. Okay? Let me repeat it. Okay, delete ko siya. Okay, so tingnan nyo to. So, option, numeric, and then abs. So that will be 4 cosine x. Okay. So there you go. As I said, there should be no graph below the x-axis. Yon. See that? Okay. So itong blue na to, yung mga blue portion, napunta siya doon above the x-axis. So that will be the graph of 4 absolute value 4 cosine x. See that? Then that's it. Pag nag-add ako ng 2, which is the problem, meaning to say, iaangat ko lang siya 2 units upward. Right? Plus 2. There you go. Okay? So, I hope nasundan nyo yung ginawa doon sa problem na yon. So, that's how you graph absolute value. Okay. Now, oops. Okay. So, napakita ko na yung graph ng sine x, ng sine, cosine, cosecant, secant. Okay. So, paano naman ang graph ng tangent and cotangent? Well, actually, okay. So, yung graph ng tangent is this. Like, ganun lang, enter nyo lang. So, this is how the graph of tangent looks like. Okay? So, ang kagandahan nito, ma-emphasize nyo yung asymptotes. Kasi yun ang meron kay tangent, di ba? Like cosecant and secant. Okay. I want to limit my domain here, ang tangent x. Gusto ko lang siyang makita from, ano ba? Negative pi over 2. Sige. Negative pi over 2. Okay, comma, shift pi over 2. Okay, that will be my domain. Gusto ko lang i-display yung graph on this domain. So this is the graph of tangent. Okay, again, this is the graph of tangent. Okay, so meaning to say, ang asymptote ni tangent dyan is yung negative pi over 2 and pi over 2. Agree? That's the asymptote. So since asymptote is vertical line, let me change the type. Okay, so enter ko ngayon si negative pi over 2, shift pi over 2, okay, and then shift pi over 2. Now look at this. Okay, change the style. So F3, okay, F3, there you go. Now, this is the graph of y equals tangent x. Again, nilimit ko yung domain from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. And then yung red and green, that's the absolute, that's the, ang tawag dito? Nagkahalo-halo na, asymptote. See that? Okay. Now, paano naman yung cotangent? Okay, so yung cotangent natin, alright? So since like cosecant and secant, wala siyang button for cotangent, you have to graph the reciprocal. So that is 1 over tangent x. Again, change the style pala muna. Type. Okay. Okay, again, sorry. So that will be 1 over tangent x. Okay. Gusto ko pakita yung graph from 0 to pi. Okay? Kasi yun ang domain niya initially. Tama? Shift. So 0 to pi. Shift pi, shift bracket. There you go. So, yung red, that's the graph of cotangent. Tama? So now, ang asymptote ngayon nito ng cotangent, ang asymptote ng cotangent ngayon is x is 0 and x is pi. So shift pi. There you go. See that? So again, the red one is the graph of y equals cotangent x, while the x equals 0 and x equals pi are the asymptotes. Okay? See that? Okay. So now, if I'm going to remove the domain, actually, paulit-ulit lang yan. Okay? That's how to graph tangent, cotangent using and together with asymptote. Okay? So, we're almost done. Okay na to. I'm going to skip it. So, I want to end on this problem. Okay? So, determine the intersection of the graphs of y equals 1/2 sine 2x and y equals 1/2 cosine 2x. Paano to sa calculator? Okay, paano to sa calculator? Alright, so, okay. So let me delete it. Again, this will be the last problem for this session. Okay. Like I said, so on this Saturday session sa Casio and ETU, we're going to focus on trigonometry. Okay? So pure trigonometry lang siya. As much as I wanted to discuss on other features of this calculator using conics, okay, but we have to focus on trigonometry. Okay. So, now, okay. So, how I'm going to get the intersection of y equals 1/2 sine 2x and y equals 1/2 cosine 2x. Okay? 1/2 cosine 2x. Okay, paano yan sa calculator? Alright, let me zoom in. Okay? Ayan. So, siguro lagyan ko siya ng domain. So, ang period ko is 2 pi over 2 or pi. Limit ko lang siya, no? So, allow me to limit it sa 0 to 2 pi. 0 to pi na lang para madali. Okay. Shift pi, shift bracket. Okay. Oops. I have to enter tuloy ulit. Okay, 1/2. Okay, cosine 2x. Okay. Shift. Okay, 0 to pi. Okay. There you go. Now, okay. So as you can see on the graph, on this controlled domain, so again, originally sa problem, all real yan eh, di ba? Dapat all real. Pero para mapakita ko lang, kasi maraming sagot yan, if ever, kasi all real numbers, di ba? So, here, you can see in one cycle, one sine wave and one cosine wave, you will see there are 2 points of intersection. Tama? There are 2 points of intersection. So how can we get the points of intersection using the calculator? Okay, so to do it, press F5 and that's it. Makikita nyo to, intersect. And it's not insect, it's intersection. Okay, so all you have to do is to press F5. There you go. See that? Nakita nyo yung red and blue? The point of intersection is negative 0.39, 0.35, ordered pair yan, and then the other one is this, 1.96 and negative 0.35. Okay? Eh, decimal yan eh. Paano ko yan ipapakita sa, syempre usually ang sagot natin in terms of pi, tama? Tsaka irrational numbers. Tama? Paano natin papakita sa calculator yon? Take note of this. Okay, take note of the equation ha. So, I'm going to go to run matrix. Okay. Delete ko to. Delete all. Okay, so option, calc, solve n. Okay. So, ang isosolve ko ngayon is 1/2 yung equation. So, 1/2. Okay. Sine 2x. Okay, shift equals 1/2. Actually, maka-cancel lang yung 1/2 dyan. And then cosine 2x. There you go. All right. All right. Now, you'll see there my warning. More solutions may exist. Okay, again, maraming solution. Like I said, kasi nga initially, yung graph niyan, napakita natin, di ba, yung graph niyan, di ba? Pag ganon. All real numbers, it will extend on the positive and negative infinity. So, marami siyang solution, kaya lang, ang default na madi-display ng calculator ay 10 lang. See that? So, ito yung first 10. 5 negative answers and then 5 positive answers. See that? Okay. So, therefore, so since based on the graph, okay, kung titingnan natin yung graph kanina, ang value ng x ko is pi over 8 and 5 pi over 8. That's my take. Okay, see that? Ito yung first 2 positive results ko. I hope naintindihan yung ibig sabihin. pi over 8 and 5 pi over 8. Okay, balik ako dito. Tingnan natin. So, now look, ma'am and sir, ang pi over 8 in decimal is nasaan yung decimal na to? Okay. DMS, wala yung DMS ko Okay, ito. Yung 0.39, tama? And then yung 5 pi over 8, 5 pi over 8, ma'am and sir, that's it. Yung decimal niyan is 1.96. See that? 0.39 and 1.96. Take note of that. Yan yung values ng x natin. So, look at the graph. Look at the graph. So, yung intersection natin, yung values ng x natin, ito yung computed value natin, which is pi over 8. So, therefore, the abscissa of one point of intersection is pi over 8. Tama? And then the other one is 5 pi over 8. Agree? See that? You know, 0.39 and negative 0.35. Hindi pala 5.88 yun. So, yung negative pala yun. Okay, sorry. Negative yung isa. So, ang kinuha ko kasi yung positive. Okay, anyway. So, yun yung ibig ko sabihin. So, if x is pi over 8, meaning to say, okay, 1/2 sine 2x, my x is pi over 8. So, meaning to say, that will be 1/2. So, that will be pi over 4, tama? Sine pi over 4. And we know ang sine pi over 4 is square root of 2 over 2. So, meaning to say, that will be square root of 2 over 4. And we know, okay, and we know, balik ako sa run matrix, okay? Sa run matrix, ang square root of 2 over 4, saan na yan? Square root of 2 over 4 is, in decimal, 0.35. See that? So, going back to our graph, so, ayun o, yung one point of intersection is, ayun, 0.39, that's pi over 8. Yung y ko is 0.35, right? Then, the other one is 1.96, tama? And then, negative square root of 2 over 4. See that? There you go. Nakita niyo yan? So, again, ang value ng x ko, 0.39 or pi over 8. And then 1.39, 1.96 kung 5 pi over 8. So, that's it. So, therefore, the points of intersections are pi over 8 square root of 2 over 4 and 5 pi over 8 negative square root of 2 over 4. Again, ito yon pag nilimit ko yung domain ng problem na to, na namalilan ko ng solution, namalilan ko ng place, kung kinontrol ko yung domain from 0 to 2 pi. Okay, kinontrol ko yung domain from 0 to 2 pi. Okay? 0 to pi pala, sorry. So, that's it. Okay, so I hope, well, of course, I believe medyo mabilis yan. So, and the intention of this webinar is to show you how to move around. You can rewatch it or you can explore this once ma-download nyo. Hindi naman siya ganun kahirap. Now, this calculator is very user-friendly. Okay? Yon. So, again, on this webinar, there are a lot of features of this calculator can give you. Okay, but I focus only on the 3 modes. Actually 4. The table, the dyna, and the graph mode. And of course, nag-solve ako using run matrix. So sa dami ng features na to, nag-focus lang ako sa 4. And you can, I believe you can explore this one. Okay? Okay, so I hope you learned something on this afternoon. Okay, Ma'am Weng, Sir Buds. Hello?
Hello sir, good afternoon. Ayan, Ma'am Weng, naka-mute po kayo. Ayan. So medyo siksik na naman at nag-uumapaw ang ating session ngayong hapon.
Naririnig ako, sir?
Apo, naririnig po.
Okay, sige.
Yes, okay. Galing.
So ayan no, napakagaling talaga ng Mr. Vidallo magpaliwanag. Smooth na smooth ang discussion ni Sir Vidallo. And Ma'am Weng, tulad na nakagawian natin, after every session, syempre magkakaroon tayo ng para bang survey sa isa sa mga teacher na kung paano niya ba ginagamit din ito kasi parang hindi naman isipin ng iba na hindi naman nagagamit yung apps na yan. So, let's have our guest teacher this afternoon from CAA National High School,
Wow,
Mr.
talagang
Yanni
ba yan?
Marquez. Yanni Marquez.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Oh,
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, everyone.
good afternoon, Boss Yan.
Wayne and Sir Bads. My name is Yanni Marquez of the Division of Las Piñas. First, let me express my gratitude to DepEd EdTech Unit and to Mr. Joel Serrano for making this webinar possible and for having me here as one of the commentators of the session. I'd like to commend our resource speaker, Sir Mark Anthony Vidallo. I've known him for quite some time, for graciously sharing his expertise in this field. And indeed, it was a very informative talk. It's a big help to all of us, especially teachers, not just teachers, but also students who are now facing this new normal setup and coping all the adversities and crises. I believe that the content is no longer a question to us. Rather, it is how we manipulate and use the calculator efficiently, which was clearly explained and demonstrated by our speaker. Furthermore, I am one of those who promote the calculator is one of the pedagogical tools that we can use in class, whether online or traditional method. With the use of Emulator, teachers, students would have a great time solving trigonometric functions. As what was mentioned earlier, there was parang merong downloadable na emulator for free, which we can actually use. And it can also maximize discussion during online sessions since it lessens tedious computations and visually present to the users as to how things work and how problems can be solved using the technology. Okay, and Sir Vidallo showed to us as well the functionalities of Casio CG50 in teaching trigonometric functions, especially the graph, which is very clear and concise. It is now in our hands as teachers to use our instructional capabilities to maximize the use of such wonderful technology. Totoo nga talaga na kulang yung time, no, to discuss everything all in one shot. But itong session na to is very helpful for everybody, not just the teachers but also students. So thank you very much for the opportunity. And shout out po pala sa kay Mayora Annalyn Santos ng Marikina Science High School. Hi po, Madam Ana. And sa lahat ng co-teachers ko sa CA National High School. Hello everybody. Thank you very much.
Ayan.
Idol ko po Sir Vidallo eh.
Ayan.
Vidallo, marami ka palang fans. Lalo pa pag lumabas ka, dadami yan.
Yes, no, napakaganda ng discussion natin at saka napakaganda rin na talagang yung idea ni Sir Joel na meron tayong ganito at the end of our session na talagang yung perspective ng iba pa nating math teachers tungkol dito sa tinuturo natin kasi para lang realize na nung iba na hindi naman madali at talagang kaya natin i-connect etong mga ginagawa natin sa pagtuturo po. So, ayun. So, Ma'am Wen,
Tama yan.
sa parent kaya ma'am, ano kaya ang realization mo rito?
Ako lagi dito, talagang magsasabi ako as a parents, eh, no? Sa parents, eh. Pwede pa sa teacher side naman. Well, anyway, since kilala ko naman ang ating speaker at ginagamit talaga yun sa school namin, kung paano niya present si Sir Vidallo yung kanyang skills and using skills na siya in teaching math and also ginamit niya pa ang Casio calculator to enhance more para mapabilis ang paggamit or pagko-compute nito bilang pagtuturo sa larangan ng mathematics. So nakakatuwa kasi there are a lot of things, a lot of innovation na magaganap. All we have to do is practice lang, then explore, then apply kung ano yung mas skills pa natin na makakatulong. So yun, nakakatuwa siya. At bilang isang parents, gaya ng sinasabi ko, kung ano po yung makakatulong sa anak natin, better na gamitin din natin. Kasi kung sa side ng teacher ay nakakatulong siya at wala naman pong gagamitin ng teacher na hindi makakatulong sa pagkatuto ng mga kabataan sa ngayong panahon ng new normal. So lahat po ng pinapalabas at pinapakita dito, Binibigyan lang ng halimbawa, ang lahat ng ito ay makakatulong po sa ating pag-aaral at sa pagkatuto ng ating mga mag-aaral. So, ayun lang, gaya ng sinabi ni Sir Yani. Ayan.
Ayan, salamat Ma'am Rowena for that realization. At syempre, wag nating pahabain pa. Tawagin na rin natin ang isa sa napaka-supportive at napakabait na tao na kilala ko, lalo na sa ating unit, ang boss ng mga Casio Tech teachers. Let's all welcome Mr. Joel Serrano for his closing message. Hello,
Hi,
Sir
Boss
Joel.
Joel.
Napakabait at
Generous.
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 Sir Joel.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Mabait na lang. Narinig mo ako, Sir Buds?
Yes po, Sir Joel.
Hello?
Okay po.
Sir Buddy, can you hear me?
Yes po, yes po.
Hello? Okay. First of all, magandang hapon sa lahat, no? I'd like to say again, thank you to DepEd EduTech from Sir Mark, of course to Sir Buddy, si Ma'am Weng, na ever supportive yan on a weekly basis, and to the hardworking crew of ETU, and of course to our technical teacher for today, Mr. Mark Anthony J. Vidallo of Makati Science High School. Napakaganda ng performance ni Mr. Vidallo talaga. And of course, isang magandang feedback na binigay ng ating guest commentator for today, idol ko rin yan, si Sir Yani Marquez ng CAA High School. And I'd like to congratulate pala, I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate Mr. Mark Vidallo for being part ng batch 2 ng DepEd TV broadcaster, no? Congratulations, Padre. And of course, same goes to other teachers, Ma'am Reverie Vargas and Mr. Tony Torres Jr. And I'd like to take this opportunity again to greet some of our friends na nagpapabati na nanonood ngayon, no? I'd like to say good afternoon to Sir Mike Lee ng DepEd Makati, si Sir Lambert Quezada nanonood din, si Ma'am Daran, tsaka si Ma'am Erin Onrales, and si Mayora, Mayor Ann Santos ng Marisay. Good afternoon. Today, I hope our participants enjoyed our math presentation and hope you can share it to your co-teachers and students as well. And if you need more materials or further information about this app, please visit our official FB page, cashofcalculatorsphilippines.com. And finally, i-share ko lang to, no? This morning kasi one math teacher sent a PM message to me. And he asked me, no, Mr. Serrano, hindi ba kayo nagsasawa magbigay ng free workshop on a weekly basis sa mga teachers? Well, this is my answer to the teacher, no. Sabi ko, never kaming napapagod maglingkod kasi we are dreaming of a technology-driven mathematics classroom or a Filipino setup or Filipino school setup, you know. And ang aming mantra nga sa Casio Philippines hanggat may interesadong guro na matuto, may Casio. Di ba? And I would like to leave my parting message to all mathematics teachers na habang hinihintay natin yung October 5, let us stay hungry and let us stay foolish. No? So again, maraming salamat and good afternoon everybody. Thank you.
Ayan. Thank you, Sir Joel. Napakaganda ng message.
Yeah.
Napakaganda ng message,
Thank
Sir
you, Sir
Joel.
Mark and Sir Yani.
Na talagang sabi ni Sir Joel, habang naghihintay tayo sa October 5, lagi dapat tayong gutom sa bagong kaalaman at sa pagkatuto na pwedeng i-offer sa atin kasi bibihira yung on a weekly basis nagkakaroon tayo ng mga discussions about mathematics. Although alam natin meron pang iba nagkapa-webinar regarding mathematics, pero syempre, iba pa rin pagka meron kang consistent learning body every Saturday at walang iba kundi ang ating mga Casio Tech teachers. Ang lagi natin nakakasama, syempre, alam naman natin, simula noon pa man, partner na ng kagawaran ng edukasyon, ang Casio Calculators Philippines. Isa sila sa mga nakakatulong natin. Kung teacher ka ng math and science, nakikita mo yan, dinideliver sa mga learning packages, kasama po ang ating mga Casio Calculators. So at this point, siguro Ma'am Weng, hingan natin ang mga last message ng ating mga guest speakers ngayong araw. Let's start with Sir Yanni Marquez. Any message to our viewers, Sir Yanni?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Muling magandang araw po sa lahat. So tunay nga na dapat tayo'y nakakaranas ng crisis sa mga panahong ito ay hindi hadlang upang matigil ang pag-aaral. At tayo bilang guro, we exhaust all available means and resources, of course, with the use of technology, para magpatuloy ang edukasyon. So, ayun lang po. Maraming salamat po sa lahat at mag-ingat po tayong lahat.
Thank you, Sir Yanni. Let's have Sir Mark Vidallo.
Go ahead, boss.
Actually, I'm surprised. The goat is in the house. Okay, Sir Yanni is here. By the way, for the information of everyone, we call Sir Yanni as one of the best teachers that we know from the regional training before. Okay, so nagulat ako at nandito siya ngayon with us. Okay, so my message to the teachers, gaya nung sabi ni Sir Joel, ni Sir Yanni, so since na-extend ang opening ng school year, it should be on October 5, that will give us kumbaga additional breathing space for us para matapos yung pag-print ng module, paggawa ng module, paggawa ng video lessons. At the same time, that would give us another opportunity to learn new things. So gaya nga sinabi ni Sir Buds kanina, Sir Joel, very lucky ng ang swerte ng mga math teachers because among other subject areas, math yung merong consistent na training sessions na pinaprovide ng DepEd EdTech. And with that, we're very thankful to DepEd EdTech unit spearheaded by Sir Mark Anthony. Okay. So, yun lang, mga ma'am and sir. So, masabi ko lang, so, at first, hindi ko master yung calculator. I don't know how to use it before. Pero by constant practice, laruin nyo lang siya. Diba? So, explore nyo lang siya. Not only calculator, any other app. Diba? So, by consistent practicing it, may, somehow, one way or another, mamamaster nyo rin siya. And that will kumbaga additional arsenal natin as teachers so that our learning environment, kumbaga yung may bibigyan natin sa student, will be mas maganda, diba? Mas interesting because you have a lot of kumbaga weapons, a lot of alternative methods for you to impart your knowledge to them. So yun. So practice lang po. Practice makes perfect nga, sabi nila.
Ayan. Ang ganda naman sinabi. A lot of practice to make it perfect. A lot of practice and more engagement to the new technology. Ayan. Ayos siya, sir.
Napakaganda ng mensahe ni Mr. Vidallo na nagiging suki na rin natin ngayong sa ETU. Siyempre, last message, Sir Joel Serrano.
Sir Joel.
Sir Joel, you're... Kaya yata. Hindi, okay.
Hi. Well, again, I'd like to say thank you sa lahat ng sumuporta today. And see you next week, no? Hello.
Meron, sir.
Narinig mo ako, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, hello. Just want to say thank you again to ETU for this opportunity. Sir Mark, pahinga rin pag may time. And see you again next week, no? Maraming salamat ulit. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Joel. So again, maraming salamat sa ating mga resource speakers this afternoon. Sir Joel, Sir Anthony Vidallo, and Sir Yanni Marquez. Hopefully, si Sir Yanni, maisa lang natin to. Malalaman natin yan kay Sir Joel.
Highly recommended.
Talent manager ng mga ClassWiz. So again, maraming salamat for joining us this afternoon. Hopefully, sabi nga ni Sir Joel Serrano, hindi ito ang last na makikita nyo ng Sir Vidallo. Itayin nyo, magsisimula na ang taping ng mga Casio teachers natin for DepEd TV. Abangan nyo sila at sa mga patuloy na sumusuporta sa amin, tomorrow po we will have new sets of learning materials or instructional video na papalabas sa ating DepEd TV. And ito po ay talagang nakita ko na nakita na namin nila Ma'am Weng, nakita na ng EdTech unit, at talagang masasabi namin pulidong-pulido to. Magandang animation, abangan nyo. Kung nagtuturo ka ng kindergarten, lalabas bukas. Kung nagtuturo ka ng mathematics, lalabas bukas. Kung nagtuturo ka ng ganyan bukas. So, abangan natin. Sir, yung bang pinanood ng first week, kasama pa rin ba sa saran? Kasama pa rin siya rin sa grid time. Ibig sabihin, dinagdagan lang natin yung mga palabas. And tomorrow, samahan niyo ulit kami sa aming DepEd TV second week. Ulitin lang po namin, broadcast test, dry run pa lang po ang ginagawa namin. And when we talk about dry run, tinitigan natin yung technicalities niya and then yung iba pang aspeto upang mas mapaganda ang pag-run nito. Again, thank you Sir Yani Marquez, Sir Mark Anthony Vidallo, and Sir Joel Serrano. Ayan, Ma'am Weng. So natapos na naman ang sa ating weekend session with our math teachers.
Nakakatuwa, no? Daming learnings kahit weekends. Kaya walang dahilan para hindi tayo madagdagan ng maraming learning this afternoon. So kung mapapansin natin, Sir Buds, talagang hindi nasasayang ang every Saturday ng ating mga live participants sa mga natututunan nila, yung tamang paggamit. Kumbaga, skills na si teacher, dinadagdagan pa using this technology. So, ayun. So, walang dahilan para hindi sila matuto. So, excited na tayo para sa sinasabi mo kanina sa ating mga broadcaster na darating.
Yes.
At sa mga nagko-komento, okay lang, maraming salamat sa nagko-komento ng positive or negative mang ito. Tinatanggap po namin yan kasi doon po kami natututo at doon kami nagiging aware. Although the pressure is up, but ina-accept po namin lahat ng challenges. So maraming salamat sa nagko-comment. We accept that in positive. Thank you so much kasi nakikita niyo yung mga errors. At dahil dyan, maraming salamat. Lalo pa namin pagbubutihin. Di ba, Sir Buds?
Yeah, speaking of that, we are taking it positively kasi nagsisilbi ang lesson sa atin at sa buong team, not only on the teacher side but on the back end side. And if you have any concerns, sabi nga natin, wala namang masama kung magbibigay tayo ng komento. Siguro yung pagbibigay natin ng komento, idaan lang natin sa tama in a way na medyo hindi na po natin kailangan pang i-bash or may sabihin na something sa ating mga teacher broadcaster kasi hindi sila sanay sa ganyan. Pero alam niyo, we take it positively and in-improve namin lahat yan. And if you have any concerns or meron kayong nakitang konting hindi malinaw sa episodes natin bukas sa mga darating na araw, pwede niyo pong ipadala ang inyong mga komento at suggestion sa teleradio@deped.gov.ph. Again, kung may concerns kayo about this, teleradio@deped.gov.ph. Meron po kaming mga naka-assign na sasagot po ng inyong mga concerns about this. And sabi ka natin, sa panahon ngayon, hindi kakayanin talaga yan na talagang hindi kakayanin ng kagawaran na mag-isa lang. Katulong ang mga guro, ang mga regional and division offices, may susulong natin ang edukalidad sa ating bansa. Lalo na ngayon, alam naman natin na October 5 na ang opening ng ating klase.
Special day October 5. That is celebrating the World Teachers Day. Ayan. Lagi po natin isa-isip, maging kaparte po tayo ng solusyon.
Yes.
Salamat.
Lahat tayo ay kabahagi ng kagawaran ng edukasyon. Sama-sama tayo, tulong-tulong tayo. Alam ko hindi madali, medyo mahirap, pero darating ang araw, magiging normal na lang ang new normal para sa atin. Muli, isang magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. At ito po ang Educational Technology Unit on our Saturday webinar on Casio Technology Sessions with Casio Technology Calculators. Again, maraming salamat po at magkita-kita po ulit tayo sa susunod na Sabado.
Tuloy ang pagbabalik eskwela ngayong taon sa isang ligtas na pamamaraan. Hatid ng Department of Education at IBC 13. ang iba't ibang learning modules na tutugon sa edukasyon ng libo-libong Pilipino.
For this episode, we will talk about the nature and process of communication.
Handang isip, handa bukas. Mapapanood ang panimulang pagtatanghal ng DepEd Distance Learning Program ngayong Lunes, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Dito lang sa IBC TV. Kaibigan mo,